And we are live. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Beyond the 90. We are a bit later than usual. As you probably know, we tried to get down to the ground. Now that fans are back, and now that we've started this in lockdown, so then we've managed to meet up and try and collaborate with a few people. They'll be coming out on the channel. We've managed to get onto AFTV, which is mad. Go and check out AFTV. You'll see my interview there. Spelled my name wrong, but beggars can't be choosers at the end of the day. Anyway, we'll be talking about, you know what? Look at the title. You've seen the amazing cat thumbnail of Adam Ramsdale. Leicester City have lost 2-0 at home at the King Power Stadium to Arsenal. Let's get into this. Let's talk about all the good stuff, all the bad stuff, because there's quite a bit of bad stuff. Let's get the moan over and done with, guys. Siddharth's already in. Embarrassing. Yeah, it wasn't the best. It really, really wasn't the best. The last 20 minutes, it wasn't great. Let's get on to that. We thought Johnny Evans was the answer, and we thought Johnny Evans was the reason why we weren't performing. Let's be real. Now Johnny Evans is back. Now we should have 2 goals in 20 minutes is unbelievable. The first one, a set piece in 5 minutes. Who could have seen it coming? Us. It's been the same problem for about 2 years. I don't want to be this person that's coming on and saying, oh, Leicester have the same problems. I want the club to fix up and I want them to get better at set pieces. The zonal marking doesn't work. Brendan, I love Brendan Rodgers, but he needs to sort this out. Whatever's working, I think 5 players went towards the ball and none of them got it. Jamie Vardy, I think Soyuncu went towards the ball. Evans, Marty, and somebody else went towards the ball. None of them got the ball. It's really disappointing. We know how to set up, but we don't know how to stop conceding from set pieces. 5 minutes in and we've already conceded. I'm like, right, Leicester on the back foot once again. How many times have we said that this year, this season, and even seasons prior? You know, then but again, we're too slow. We're too lethargic. There was lots of times in that game where we should have gone for the jugular. In the first 20 minutes, we just didn't start. It was enough. Again, just looking at my notes, we passed the ball around at the back. When they went 1-0, I'm expecting, just like Brendan Rodgers said, when you listened to him after the Brighton game, after we were drawing 1-1, what he wants to do is come back into the team and come out again. As in, like, he wants to win the ball back in 4 passes, kind of like a Pep Guardiola. And we did that against Brighton. Again, it was a bit lucky, but we made our own luck at the same time. Now, the way that we performed in this was nowhere near the levels that we know we can. It was not good enough. For the second goal, if you watch the second goal back and realize players are walking, players are jogging. I know, and the thing is, you've had rest. You've had a whole week's rest. The only player that I can really, again, he didn't have a great game. He got tore apart. Was Mr. Luke Thomas. Mr. Luke Thomas has played. I don't know why I'm calling Mr. Luke Thomas, but he played 90 minutes on Wednesday, and then he's looking a bit lethargic, and he's coming up against Saka. It wasn't his day today. It really, really wasn't. I think he wasn't good enough. But kind of, I can give him a little bit of an excuse. Johnny Evans, I mean, you saw Michael's face just shaking his head. It's not good enough. Johnny Evans wasn't. It's weird because we've made the issue before. We can't wait for Johnny Evans to go back. He's a major part of the side. He was in from the beginning, and he should have led that team better. Again, sorry, coming back to Luke Thomas, he's the person that gave the second goal away, just gifted it into the path of it. Smith-Rowe, who just bent it in that corner. Fantastic. Again, as Louis was saying, Louis 2K, sorry, too many defensive issues. I totally agree. And if you want to subscribe to our Twitch, make sure to subscribe because we're launching a Twitch as well. We'll be hopefully doing some more content on that soon. We'll let you know as we're going. It was a bit boring. Yeah, it really was. I'm not going to lie. Poor passing. Nat says poor passing from our attacking players left our defense exposed. For the second or on that second goal, the defending wasn't good by any stretch. They weren't helped. Yeah, the defense wasn't really good, and we know that this is the case. We know that Leicester City are not good from set pieces, and I'm fed up of saying the same thing again and again. And we can be better than this. We are a better team than what exactly the football that we play. So yeah, we'll get that over and done with because do you know what? That's kind of the performance that was at Crystal Palace and Burnley where we were behind, we weren't good enough, we were trying to build into the team and it wasn't working. However, when we started to play about 25 minutes, not amazing football, say good football. A lot of passes were going awry. A lot of passes from players like Tielemans, who you can rely on to put in a decent performance. He had a bit of an off day, especially in the first half. Lots of players that couldn't string passes together. Vardy was chasing onto balls that weren't there. Nacho wasn't quite hitting them levels. But what's good for me is the fact that he changed it up. Brendan Rodgers went to a back four, which I thought was a very, very brave move. We're 2-0 down. Once you go 2-0 down in 20 minutes, it's really, really hard to come back from that. And also, bear in mind, they're 2-0 up in 20 minutes. Arsenal puff their chests out. They go, right, we can take you now, no problem. Setting up in that 4-4-2 formation, they know how to play us. And they go, right, we just got to continue what we're doing. And their confidence overtook us. And we had to keep going. In terms of that, again, there wasn't really many chances in the first half, apart from them 2 goals. Luke Thomas obviously setting up Smith-Rowe, and Smith-Rowe, if you're going to give opportunities to any team in the Premier League, they are going to take them. And Smith-Rowe did. 2 in 2. It's not really that impressive, to be honest. That one was gifted to him on a plate by Luke Thomas. But the way we're playing and the football that we're playing in that first 20 minutes wasn't good enough. But we kept going. We changed to 4 at the back, and it seems to work for us. And I wouldn't have said that going into this game. The fact that we set up 3-5-2 was fantastic. I think we did. That's a formation that does work for us. It didn't work in this match. Playing 3-5-2, playing 4-2-3-1 worked fantastically. What happened is that when they played 4-4-2, the pockets here, it allowed them to, in terms of Barnes and Lookman, to get into them pockets of space and find and really exploit Arsenal. Ben White didn't have a great game, to be honest. I thought he was okay. Harvey Barnes gave him the run around at times, and on that right hand side, on that left hand side, he gave him the run around. Lookman did okay since coming on. He did well, like a good to well performance. I think we were good. We were good, to be honest, in that performance. But for 15 minutes, by the combination of 2 things, Aaron Ramsdale saving them again. We'll get onto the 42nd minute double save because that was insane. And us not taking our chances. I think Vardy had a chance from Tielemans, and I think Barnes had a chance from Tielemans. Neither of them put in the back of the net. There should have been opportunities. I think we had 7 shots on target, all saved by Ramsdale. So it shows you that he had a hell of a game. And let's just give that man credit. Credit where it's due. Coming into the Premier League, you guys know me. I was laughing at Arsenal a little bit. Their recruitment, I was like, what the hell have you done? Ramsdale, what the hell are you doing? But oh my God, that save at 42 minutes. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable from Ramsdale. If you see even if you watch the thumbnail of us at the moment, really, really long hand reaching out, and then that save. Okay, because I'll celebrate. I was like, oh my God, that's almost again. Oh, second goal, almost got in. Double save by Ramsdale. What is fantastic. Question, you were chatting facts on Arsenal Fan TV. Thank you very much again. Thank you for that. Thank you for Robbie for having me once again. It was fantastic. Just took too long on the ball. Yeah, totally agree. We didn't spend enough time getting the ball forward, getting the time, and also in that first 20 minutes, yes, the defense was a problem, but also that midfield. When you've got Ndidi in the team, this is a match where people are going, Ndidi's missing. We've not said that in the good way for the last 2 games in the Premier League because Tomori has been so good. But in this game, he dropped his levels. He wasn't that player that we thought he wasn't. He didn't live up to the levels that he sets himself. And Ndidi was missed in this game. He would have cut out a few of them passes and kind of, you know what he's like, the firefighter, kind of putting out fires wherever they go. He was a big miss today. And I'm going to be honest. However, we've got to move on in terms of that double. We'll go back to what we were talking about, the double save, which was unbelievable. That double save, I watched it. If we go into that game 2-1, I think I said this to Benjamin as well from Upside Sports. So again, that's another interview that Post-Match is going to be doing as well. One thing as well, I was going to say, Nandez, Akash, if you guys want the link for the channel, let me know. I'll try and drop you in. You know, I don't really like doing post matches on my own. So if you're available, let me know. I'll send you the link. However, in terms of that, if we go into the game 2-1, change of formation, belief we can get the game. I think we can draw that game. 2-0 is not completely out of the water. However, it's one of those positions where I going into the match 2-0 down. It's really hard. It's really, really hard, especially when the Arsenal, again, the Arsenal players gone, we're winning 2-0. Fantastic. We'll toughen up. We'll sharpen up. Credit to Leicester. Brendan Rodgers, actually, one of his things he said in the post-match, which I want to bring up now as well, he actually quote-unquote said, Leicester did exactly the opposite to the game plan. So it shows you he's really annoyed as well. He is really annoyed with the way that we performed. And again, that's down to the players. The players need to take responsibility. The 3-5-2 was working until this game. He changed it. It worked. Bringing on them to in them positions. Again, as I was speaking about, Jimmy Vardy barely didn't get a touch of the ball as well in majority of the game. What I want to see is after we went 2-0, we had that 15 minutes, I think about 65 minutes of just relentless pressure. Ramsdale saving everything. We're missing our chances. We're holding in this position. Now, after this, we're going into the next game. After that, the next phase of play, it was kind of even. And I think I was saying to Robbie as well, if you take out the first 20 minutes, it was kind of an even game. It probably was okay. I'll send you that now, Nandez. 1 second. But yeah, in terms of the game, if you take away the first 20 minutes, it isn't that bad of a result, as in bad of a performance. But it's just, again, as Ethan was saying, more mad about playing around the back far too long than using the game. Yeah, even when we're 1-0 down, we're playing it. I think, again, I forgot. I'm all over the place at the moment. From here, sorry, I'm having some technical issues. Hopefully everything's okay. From the middle, from Evans to Sionchu to Amate, and then the pass just went backwards and forwards, and that allowed Arsenal to keep their 4-4-2 shape and press us. And pressing us from the back, they knew what they were doing. As performances like this, that we've seen all the rumours about Tielemans, this is the kind of performance where Tielemans do I want to stay at this club. And that's what's really annoying. If we want to progress to the next level, we have to be beating teams like Arsenal, or at least getting a draw out of them. We can't be putting these kind of performances in. I don't think they are good enough. Anyway, we'll come into some of the things. But yeah, look, the thing is, it was so annoying, to be honest, because it was so annoying because we've been on such a run. And I thought this is our time to get out of the run, to kind of got 4 wins on the bounce, I think. Yeah, 4 wins on the bounce. Man United, yes, Man United, and then 2 games in the Europa League, and then 1, and then Brentford as well. 2 wins, Europa League, Brighton in the EFL Cup, and then Brentford. So we've got 4 wins on the bounce. This opportunity to go to that next level, but we make it 5. Get Jamie Vardy on the score sheet as well, and we didn't take it. We really, really, really didn't take it. And we do need a little bit of just that kind of grit and determination. Something that Brendan Rodgers has said, the players are too nice. They're too lovely. And that's what I've really got annoyed with today. Schmeichel did make a good save, but again, his distribution at times was poor. It wasn't good enough to kind of win the game, which I was kind of annoyed about. But at the same time, we've got to just keep going in terms of the way that we play. Forget this result. I'm not too hurt about it, but at the same time, we've got this result. Move on from it. If you look at the reason why I wasn't flipping out on Robbie, I was like, right, there is positive to take from this in terms of we've got 15 minutes. The fact that the goalkeeper had an absolute blinder today. Let's be real. If that match statistics, we had 8 shots on target and 0 goals. That shows you that and a lot of them, some of them were pop shots. The Iheanacho shot from the outside, Ramsdale made a really good save for that. I think before the 42nd minute goal, 42nd minute double save, it felt like a goal as well. Sorry, I let send the link to the video. Oh, mate, you see, I can't multitask. Let me just send you the. I think I copied that in from earlier. Hold on 1 second. I'll send that over to you now, Nandez. Sorry about that. Again, trying to juggle multiple things at once. But I think that, let me just, you've got it now, right? You've got it now. So, in terms of the way we play, it wasn't good enough. But at the same time, there's positive to take. It's not like the performance against Burnley or the performance against Crystal Palace where we hung on and we were arguably this is a better playing style of play. This isn't. We've not returned back to where we were there. We have kind of gone up a level. We've made Arsenal look good, which is really annoying. A lot of their fans, as you know, on Twitter and stuff like that, aren't the best. However, the ball, I think Maddison was looked good today at times. Again, we've not seen the first key free kick that he did that hit the walls, like typical Maddison. But that second, again, for the 42nd minute shot, it was a really good free kick, but it was just a fantastic, phenomenal save. And if you watched as well, Ramsdale has the same colour kit, I think, as the Schmeichel away kit as well. So we're competing in terms of colour kits as Arsenal in terms of the Adidas sponsorship, which is brilliant, you know. Anyway, we didn't deserve to really get anything out from the game because of the first 20 minutes. Again, Ethan says both goals shouldn't have happened. The first goal was inevitable to happen, but I just didn't expect it in the first 5 minutes. The first corner, don't want to say it was it the first. I think it was 5 minutes. The first corner they score from it. That's bad. Come on, Rodgers. Come on, team. The players and the managers need to hold themselves responsible because we've got a special friend here. Akash, how you doing? We're just talking about corners. How's life? And also, what do you think about the result in general?
On any other given day, I think we could have done something with the remaining time on our hands, but Ramsdale was having one of those days, you can't touch him. He was just unstoppable, untouchable. With the sun in his eyes, he made that save. And even after making that save, we tried to salvage out something out of it, and effort was put in, but again a goal line save from the defender. So I don't know. I think we had a very unlucky day in terms of in terms of gathering that 3 points that was up for grabs, and we really needed that 3 points because you saw, how Arsenal climbed up the ranks, and it seems like Arsenal never had a slump. They are back on fifth position, and we could have done that equally. But one of those days, man, just this pathetic display to watch, and we just shut off in the first 20 minutes. That was really really pathetic.
Yeah, I was just saying as well, if we take away the first 20 minutes, I think it is a decent performance. There's not a lot we can
Yeah.
do in terms of what we play. However, there was some real positive performances in there, I think, because there was some positive plays, but the first 20 minutes when you can go 2-0 down, especially to Arsenal, it's going to be a real uphill struggle from there. 1 second as well. We've got Nandez. Are you there, mate?
Yeah,
There
bro.
we go.
Sorry,
How are you
man.
doing? How did you manage to get to the game? How did you find it?
Oh, it's frustrating. It's just
Mhm.
such a boring game, I think, for us. And I mean,
Was it? We had 8 shots on target. I've seen more boring games this season.
no, there has been a good range of boring games. But I think this one, it's never nice not scoring any goals in home.
I'm going
I
to put
I,
that
I
down.
just
A
don't.
good range of boring games. Leicester City season
Yeah, I mean,
2021-2022.
Arsenal. It's Arsenal. Like a lot of people know Arsenal. Like I have a friend who's an Arsenal fan. Now he's giving me that chat. And I was so positive that we were going to win it, but I just think there was no desire to win it. There's nothing from the start. You got to start off well. I don't know what went wrong because I kind of rate Brendan Rodgers did at the end of the day because he brought on two very good players, Ademola Lookman and Harvey Barnes. So he was trying. There's only so much Brendan Rodgers can do, but the players just showed no desire. Like they didn't want to win it.
Yeah, especially again, Akash. I think what he says as well in terms of the first Brendan Rodgers. I think I've not watched the press conference review yet, but one thing he said is Leicester did exactly the opposite to the game plan, and it is. I think Nanda's right. It's down to the players in order to get this right, because we were doing what we could only do what we could do. The manager can only do what they can do. That was the strongest team we could potentially put out with the players that were fit and available. So, and 3 at the back has worked. If we're going 4-2-3-1, we're all cussing the manager immediately. So, it was up to the players at that responsibility, wasn't it?
A lot of the blame has to be awarded to the players because again the first 20 minutes was vital, crucial. And if you remember that Amartey thing that he did, looked like an own goal waiting to be happen. I mean, it was waiting to happen, and Kasper Schmeichel dodged a heavy bullet there. Uh, I think, it's one of those days again. I mean, you can criticize the team, but we have been playing this consistently for a long time. We have been salvaging points out of fixtures where we have considered, and then we just hit another level. We just, throttled our engine, and then we gathered something out of those two goals in the dying moments of the game. But we failed to do that. Ramsdale was top in his performance, and that was the thing that was, really hampering us. Even Vardy didn't look as sharp. He didn't have the help that he needed. Kelechi Iheanacho was substituted. Harvey Barnes Lookman came, but Harvey Barnes was taking extra touches into the box. I think he was trying to, carve out a good position to take a shot, but it was always proving out to be too costly because the few milliseconds that he wasted, Arsenal defenders got back in his path, and they just blocked every shot that he could have taken out of faith. And he was trying out with very acute angles, and Ramsdale didn't have any problems dealing with Harvey Barnes. uh, Lookman was trying to, play out of his position also, because Harvey Barnes Lookman play in a similar kind of range, but everything and anything wasn't clicking, and
Mhm.
that was the main issue out of this fixture. I think it won't, derail or anything like that. I think in the next game we'll bounce back. We'll do what we have been doing, relying more and placing our eggs on the offensive department. I think everything will be fine, but this is just a setback for another match week. And today we have seen so many upsets around the league. Manchester City can't, gather 3 points as well. uh, Liverpool losing, again sharing a point with Brighton. So everything and anything is happening. So we are not the only side to be complaining about tonight's fixture.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are happening at the moment. Obviously, we're not going to be looked at the only bad result in the Premier League, which is again something that we shouldn't rely on. But I think David puts a good point, Nandez, in terms of this. Why am I tired of seeing up? We start off slow. It's kind of what we were talking about. It's something that we can kind of guarantee that sometimes, well, that we will concede from set pieces. That's pretty much guaranteed. And the second point is we're going to start off slow. When we're behind, then we start to play football. It's kind of, and the thing is, yes, it could have, but the fact is when you're 2-0 down, you shouldn't be starting to play football then.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, whenever we start, it's like we're 3-0 up. We kind of act like we're playing it. We're playing like we're winning it, but we're not. We're never winning it, and that's what I just don't understand with us. Because why should we come into this game and just start playing badly and just start creating gaps? Because it's nothing to do with fitness. All of these players just had the biggest rest of their lives, and they're coming playing just their first 20 minutes, and just out of
But they were
nowhere, Arsenal
rotated
going through.
midweek. We made
Yeah,
10 changes. Soyuncu and Luke Thomas should be the only players that are really tired.
yeah, I mean, it's truth, honestly. Like, there's gonna be people who say, "Oh, they need a rest. They need a rest." It's nothing to do with that. I mean, there comes a stage where I just think some of these players really need to apologize for some of their performances, because the passing you probably saw from the start was just shocking. I mean, we didn't link up at all. Those balls going straight into the throwing areas, out of bounds areas, and stuff. And I honestly don't know with this team sometimes, because it's not that we can't play good. We can play very good. We can play better than the likes of Real Madrid. But then there's more times that we play like Norwich than Real Madrid. That's my point. So I think
It's the hope
maybe
that kills you, mate.
maybe so I just don't understand what the problem is with Brendan Rodgers. There's no proper explanation I can really think of why we start.
Well, yeah, from what Brendan Rodgers said, he said we didn't stick to the game plan, which is obviously his fault. Well, it was not his fault. It's obviously the players' fault, and they do need to take responsibility. But what we've seen before, Akash, again, I don't want to be completely negative. There is a lot to be negative about, and I agree, and we've kind of touched on that. But the fact after the second half, and we came out and played football, again, we had a spell of about, I think, 45 minutes to about 60 minutes. I'd say 65 minutes, where we started to play some decent football. Again, with a combination of Ramsdale making some more great saves, and B, we missed not taking our opportunities. We can kind of one up ourselves. We can go, okay, this isn't a Crystal Palace where we can see the results are going wrong, but Brendan Rodgers still persists. We're not saying he's stubborn, which is a good thing. I know it's a slight positive. It's slight positive to take, but there is signs that we're not, before when we played against when we drew 2-2. I remember we were coming on. We're like, when is it going to end? Because we just felt like we're just in this run. Now, even though we've come up and this is the part down, it feels like, as you were saying, there's going to be more upsides to come.
I mean, there is no alternative for us rather than going up after this performance. I think coming into the game, we were the favorites, or in every pundit's mind, because Arsenal was not doing right by the position that they reside in generally, and a lot of extra expectations was angled towards us. So this fixture is really, the hot topic of this match day, because two equally hungry sides looking for those 3 points, and a lot of them expected Leicester to gain something, an upper hand Arsenal, but that didn't happen, because for Arsenal also the things were clicking before coming into this fixture. Arteta had, a string of performances that was really working well with the side, and that is a very very young side, hungry men who are equally disturbed that Arsenal was, suffering at this precise moment, and they also wanted to bounce back. So it was all about, who wanted it more. I think complacency was shown by our side. I don't blame much of Rogers for this fixture, because, when we needed those goals, he got Amarte out, he got Kelechi Iheanacho out, who wasn't doing all that great, but he got the options available to him, and Lookman and Harvey Barnes were one of two of the best options that he had available to him. I think Daka could have been introduced first time in the first half, but then again it's nitpicking my manager a bit extra. But yeah, everything that he got, I think anything wasn't working all that well, and into the final third we were really struggling, because one time I remember Vardy just gathered up a pass, he looked for options, then there was no one, and we have seen this over and over
Yeah.
again. Vardy gets a ball, he can channel the cross back, or just pass it back to any of the receivers that can take a shot, but then the support arrives too late, and even some of our players doesn't have that brilliant first touch finishing. So I mean, what do you do? Either you play all the attacking options that you have, then you sacrifice and jeopardize with the back line, because already the back line is depleted. And that's the problem that we are assessing at the moment. I hope Fofana comes back sooner. And also James Justin is on the way to recovery. Also Wilfred Ndidi will be a huge boost in the upcoming fixtures. So there is only onward and upward from here.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Again, Nanas, in terms of the way that we played, obviously it wasn't great. There is definitely positive to take, but it's kind of somebody was saying as well. We're a big fan of Samari on this channel, but he wasn't good today. He's had a good performances again, as he said. He wasn't at his best, and that's something that we can kind of take away. In the beginning, again, the defense needs to be criticized, but the midfield, it just seems like they weren't there. Like nobody was tracking anybody. And Samori is a good player, we know, but maybe that's what we get from playing young players, and he's still relatively new to the Premier League. So do we give him a pass for this one, or just hope he gets better for the next one?
No, I really think that he's going to get better, and I don't think is a bad game from him. Like, I don't think it was his worst game, but there were obviously some positives from his gameplay, like he was holding players up. But of course, it's always, I think, a confidence thing, as well as, of course, the pressure of this game. I mean, we're missing a few people. I think when Wilfred Ndidi comes back, it's going to be very, very hard for him to get like kind of game time as well, which is quite important. But yeah, there's quite mixed opinions I can see in the comments about Samari. I didn't think he played badly. He's not one of the players I would really look at taking off. But I mean, even Yuri Tillemans, I think so. He's a player to really look at. He was really poor in this game. Like, the class that he can be. He's I said it before, he's the best player in the Leicester pitch. He can be the best player in the Leicester pitch. He's the one that holds us together. And I think when Yuri Tillemans has a bad game, we will always have a bad game. We're always going to lose that game when Yuri Tillemans has a bad game. And that's why we're so lucky that Yuri Tillemans has some good games. That's why we've been winning during some games.
Yeah. Him and I think Vardy and Nacho as well are two big players for us. Again, I think we covered. It's a bit of a weird one to analyze. We've got I keep referring back to the same points, but Akash, I know, again, give yourself the final floor, but also mention the fact that you've been on Premier League India. So massive congratulations on that. But plug yourself and give your final thoughts as well.
So I went into the Premier League Panga segment in Premier League India. So we had a bit of fun session and had respective quiz about our team season thus far. So that's a brilliant thing to be a part of. Final thoughts of the game. I think the games are won or and lost into the midfield department. And Somare, no matter how hard he tries, he will still need 2 or 3 good years to come at a level that that covers the same bases and ticks the same boxes as Wilfred Entity, because we are missing out on Wilfred Entity's capabilities, and he does a lot of the work which are only evident when he's not around to cover the bases. And between Wilfred Ndidi and Yuri Tillemans, things were not looking very good today, because Madison was trying to play his part in the attacking part of it, but these two were really struggling. And as Nandesh said, I mean, when Yuri Tillemans is having a bad game, I think only time I saw Yuri Tillemans perform was that brilliant through ball to I think Castagne or Luke Thomas. He just put one pass magically in, and that shot, even that shot couldn't help us out. So the midfield department looks a bit depleted. I hope that it gets taken care of, because we have options, young unexperienced options, but we do have options in Kylian Drewsbury Hall and the others to have some kind of rotational plays when things are not working in the first 45 minutes. And this result wasn't enough to derail our momentum. We have been stitching great performances thus far. I shouldn't be critical to the offensive side of it, because defensively we all know we are flawed, but offensively we have been doing good, and that 50% alone is capable, more than capable, to sail us through this season into some positive outcomes. So I'll take that as a just a minor setback into our path of redemption.
Let's hope so. Yeah, so again, big up for yourself for the Premier League India as well. I'll make sure to link that down in the description for you once this video is finished. Nandez, again, I've seen you've got a couple of videos on your channel. Final thoughts, and then give you plug away as well. And congrats on the. Well, again, you've got a couple of big videos and just smashing out the videos as well.
This is my channel is so inconsistent, but I think going on it, I guess we just got to move on. 3 points is 3 points. We're gonna lose some games. We're gonna win some games, as Akash said. And of course, we just got to deal with the win. I think it doesn't just change depending on the team. Like, you don't get 4 points if you beat United. So just got to move on, win the games that we need to win. We always knew Arsenal was going to be a tough game. Same for Chelsea. We've got to beat Leeds United. We've got to beat Watford here. Can't undermine them. I just think maybe we need to look into this Europa League game. Maybe try and use the players that have individually wanted to play, had the desire. And then, yeah, I kind of want to see Hamza Chowdhury be captain again. Not going to lie. I thought Hamza Chowdhury should have started in this game.
Yeah, he was good for the, again, and there's a reason why. Obviously, we changed formation, and we took him out the side, and the defense did lack a little bit. I thought Wilfred Ndidi was very good as well. But at the same time, in terms of, I think this is a good comment to leave on as well. Ethan puts in, honestly, boys, not the end of the world. Exactly. We are still in every competition, which we are. Big players returning from injury in January, so I hope, and towards the end of the season, we'll hope for better. Let's hope so. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe again. Check out all the guys in the comments down below. Make sure to all that good stuff. We'll see everybody in the next video. So goodbye.